So, Yuji Itadori. Now, personally, I don't mind Yuji at all. I won't lie and say that when it comes to the vessel of Sukuna, obviously Sukuna is the more interesting one. He's the one that everyone talks about. He's the one that everyone unapologetically glazes to no other degree, even almost more so than Gojo himself, Satoru's annoying ass. But I think it's interesting, and I think it's cause for conversation. Like, why does the fan base feel so indifferent towards Yuji? Why is it that the vessel of Sukuna gets so little love when it comes to Jujutsu Kaisen characters in the broader scope? So much so that the main character of the show is basically treated like he's like barely even there. Like, at least when it comes to fan perception, people barely care unless it comes to people shoving fingers down this man's throat. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, bro, the fan base don't really like Yuji like that. And I'm today going to figure out why that is. Now, it isn't due to the fact that, no one likes a goody two-shoes, because after all, me personally, Superman, Spider-Man, characters who inspire hope and goodness in all who observe their actions, those characters ring true to me, and I enjoy their character very much. But I won't lie and say there isn't a certain level of appeal when it comes to the more villainous characters, i.e. Sukuna. And of course, it's not just villainies for villainies' sake. There is a certain level of swagger that comes with Sukuna's level of villainy. He's not just evil for evil's sake. He has a greater presentation, if you will. After all, you can be a villain all you want to, but would you rather be a villain or a supervillain? And of course, that rings true to that of Sukuna, and it's the reason why Mahito isn't exactly seen in the same exact light as Sukuna, when both are pretty much equal when it comes to their dastardly deeds, of course. But again, swagger, presentation, all of those play a role in being the type of villain that always, and I do mean always, has a certain level of fan appeal. Now, of course, we've seen similar examples with Madara Uchiha from the critically acclaimed series of Naruto. But at the end of the day, I just find it fascinating. It's just so interesting to see why people just don't like Yuji that much. It's crazy because Sukuna and Yuji are literally identical as far as facial structure because they're sharing the same body. But, whoever's in control, that's who fans care about. And honestly, I can't pretend like I don't know why. Again, like I said, Yuji is fine on his own. As a character itself, it is a fine motivation. But he takes more or less a passenger role when it comes to his own series. A lot more people are more interesting when it comes to the series, and I think that's the biggest thing here. Of course, we have Satoru, Gojo. Obviously he's more appealing than a lot of the titular characters. If anything, Gojo is more or less the face of Jujutsu Kaisen, at least when it comes to, obviously, Western audiences. We recognize Jujutsu Kaisen and we instantly think Satoru or even Sukuna, and sometimes even Kenjaku, and I do mean that sometimes. Like, most people, they don't care about Kenjaku like that. It's all about that Sukuna train, baby. Hell, even Mahito gets more love than freaking Kenjaku. Hate me if you want to, Kenjaku fans, go crazy, but I'm right. No one really cares about Kenjaku. He's just a means to an end at the end of the day. And it's even crazy because even Yuta Okotsu gets more love than freaking Yuji does.
I never realized you were such a womanizer!
Don't be rude. Our love is pure.
And it's crazy to me because, again, Yuji is the main character of Jujutsu Kaisen, contrary to people's popular belief on TikTok, Instagram, and whatever other social media you may ever use in your lifetime. But for some reason, again, fans just don't care that much. And I always wondered, what's the deal with that? It's probably because that lame ass nigga ain't got no curse techniques. All that cursed energy for what? Now, of course, having a gimmick is an important part of making a character iconic when it comes to the greater cut.
A few minutes later.
Now, of course, having a gimmick is obviously important when it comes to being more iconic when it comes to the greater fan perception. But Yuji just doesn't have one. Of course, he has Black Flash, but he has no special jujutsu technique. Like, he's abnormally strong for a sorcerer with an abundance of cursed energy, and even Sukuna's cursed energy. Jeez. But for some reason, his strength is not akin to a heavenly restriction. He is not like a Toji, and he's definitely not like a Maki. He's not like these type of characters who have zero cursed energy, for lack thereof. He's just abnormally strong because of his lineage, i.e., also, spoiler alert, yes, Kenjaku is the mother of Yuji and many other cursed spirits that we have seen already in the series, in the anime, and of course in the manga. But the crazy part is about Yuji is that immediately after, again, spoilers, if you have not been caught up to Jujutsu Kaisen, you will be spoiled anyway. Even after Yuji, gets full autonomy over his body again, and after Sukuna switches vessels from Yuji to that of Megumi, obviously, a lot of people just kind of tuned out of Yuji. A lot of people just don't really, it's like he doesn't exist anymore. It's like he's literally a background character in the show once again. At least before, Sukuna and Yuji shared a vessel, so their screen time was more or less coinciding with one another. But now, it's like, okay, Yuji's here, he plays a part, and it doesn't matter how edgy they make him, it doesn't matter how cool they make his scenes look, it doesn't matter how much, right, I'm left, I'm right, I'm left type of vibes you give Yuji. At the end of the day, fans just aren't really receptive to Yuji that much. And honestly, it's a number of factors. And at the end of the day, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Let me know if I'm tweaking or not. Let me know if you guys love Yuji Itadori. Let me know if you hate me for making this blasphemous video. I'll see you guys later. Peace.